Hello developers, in this video we'll learn about buttons. Button is a basic UI element that represents a clickable widget. It allows users to perform actions or trigger events when they tap or click on it. Buttons are an integral part of Android app user interfaces and are widely used to create interactive interfaces. Let's create our first button. We start with the button tag. In the XML, the layout width and height should be specified. I'll use wrap content and wrap content for the height. You can see our button is created. There are a lot of attributes you can define for the button. Let's start with the most important one is the ID. So Android ID, and I'll give it an ID, my button, my BTN. BTN represents button. Text is an attribute that sets the text displayed on the button. I'll use click me. Text size equal to 32 SP. And you can see the font is increased. Text style, you can define the style of the text, for example, bold. You can use padding. This will set the internal padding of the button. For example, 30 dp. Later on, we'll talk about the units, dp and sp. Margin sets the external margin of the button. For example, 40 dp. This will create an external margin of the button when linked to the other views. You can define attributes for clickable and interactivity. So for example, clickable. Clickable, I can make it as clickable or not clickable. But in general, you create a button to be a clickable one. So if I set it to false, the user will not able to click on it. Also enabled. Enables, or this will enable the button. So it sets whether the button is enabled and can respond to clicks, like true or false. True, it's enabled. False, it's OnClick. This is a deprecated attribute, and I don't prefer to use it in the XML. I prefer to use it in the codes. So this will specify the method to be invoked when the button is clicked. This attribute should reference a method in the activity or fragment that hosts the button. For now, I don't need and I don't use and I don't recommend to use it in the XML. Always use when you add functionality to views in the codes and in Java files. Now let's move to the Java codes. Here, I need to initialize and declare the widget button. Button, my button, equal to find the view by ID, r.id. What is the ID that we specified for this button? It's called my button. So I need to specify it here, my button. Then in order to use this button and allow the user to click on it and trigger a method, do an action, I need to use this button in the instance, my button dot set on click listener new view click listener. What are listeners, how to use that, and how to handle the click events on the button.